different universities of the country, and I have also been member of different committee, chairman of different committee of national bodies. But whenever this national education policy came into existence, it was so exciting. I must convey my gratitude to the framers of this policy. I must convey my gratitude to the government of the country. They could visualize that a policy of this nature was required to control the decline in the educational system of the country. A decline has taken place. We have to stop this decline. That is why the topic which is chosen to me is really, I must appreciate the organizer that they have given me this topic. I do not know what I will deliver, but I personally feel that I should speak on this topic, because I have seen the education system of the country from very close corner. I've seen what it was, what it is today. And if we fail to implement national policy 2020 in toto, a decline will continue, and I do not know where we will be landing. Because if we look at National Education Policy 2020, National Education Policy, slide chalao. National Education Policy 2020, what it talks about? It talks about, if we just see the National Education Policy 2020, it talks about, if we National Education Policy 2020, if we look at the first slide, what it says, the National Education Policy 2020 is a comprehensive framework for reforming India's education system. We have to reform the Indian education system. Why? Because some changes took place, some visible changes took place than the earlier system, to transform it into a more holistic, flexible, and multidisciplinary system aligned with 21st century needs. This policy aims to provide universal access to quality education, because somewhere there was erosion in the quality. Whenever the globalization requires quality, the only requirement of the globalization is quality product and quality services. To provide quality product and quality services, quality education is the requirement of the time. If at all we have to survive in this global competition, we as a country with the highest number of population have to think of providing quality education. In that quality education, we should develop cognitive skills, social, ethical, and emotional capacities of our students, and develop good human beings. Because if we look at each aspect of national education policy, thrust of national education policy, this requires rethinking, and this requires efforts to bring back what it was existing in our system, because of our educational system was so rich. And this National Education Policy 2020 is founded on 5 guiding pillars of access, equity, quality, affordability, and accountability. My dear friends, even if we say that we have 45,000, 46,000 colleges, lakhs of schools, more than 1,200 universities, but still there is problem of access, there is problem of equity, there is problem of quality and affordability and accountability in our education system. It is existing in education in general, and it is also existing in higher education in particular. So national education policy gives thrust on these issues. And the key reform under National Education Policy 2020 aimed at standardizing and enhancing the quality of higher education in India through effective governance and quality leadership. This is possible. This policy can be implemented. The vision and mission of this policy can be implemented only through effective governance and quality leadership. A topic which is assigned to me, and on this topic I have to speak. And the 19.1 point of National Education Policy talks about effective governance and leadership in higher education. Effective governance and leadership is that enables the creation of culture of excellence and innovation in higher education institution. We have to create culture of excellence in higher education institution, that if we look at the educational institutions in the country today, whether it is colleges or universities, it is existing for the sake of existence, many institutions. But whenever we talk about excellence, that's a question mark. And what is that excellence? We have to talk about it. And all that is why all higher educational institutions in India will aim to become independent, self-governing institution pursuing innovation and excellence. The thrust of national education policy is to make them independent, no interference from any side, from anywhere, and they have to be self-governing institutions which are pursuing innovation and excellence. That is the thrust. And all higher educational institutions to ensure leadership of the highest quality and promote institutional culture of excellence. Because ensure leadership of highest quality. So whenever these are the issues, whenever we talk about, that gives a message that somewhere something is happening, something has happened where highest quality of leadership is missing, and institutional excellence, culture of institutional excellence, there is gap. So what is this academic governance is the question. It is designing the structure and process of an educational institution to ensure the accountability and transparency, to ensure a responsiveness of the educational institutions, higher educational institutions, to abide the rules of law, to ensure stability, to ensure equity and inclusiveness, empowerment, and broad-based participation of all its stakeholders. My dear friends, if we look at each component of this effective governance of higher educational institution, all of you must be understanding as faculty in colleges and university, it is missing. Student, any parent coming with any problem, people say, I do not know. You go to this person, you go to that person, and ultimately the grievance is not properly managed. Teacher is taking class, he is not accountable. A teacher is evaluating the answer book. If the student is demanding that I want to see the answer book, we are showing eyes to him. As employee is evaluated, he said that how I have been given this rank. We say it is private, it is confidential. So what is happening? Accountability is missing among the teachers. Accountability is missing among the employees. Accountability as an institution is missing today. It's visibly missing today. So आ रहे लोग तनख्वाह ले रहे हैं, काम कर रहे हैं, काम कर रहे हैं. Because I as a organizational behavior teacher, human behavior teacher, हमने कभी कुछ लोगों को भी ये जवाब दिए थे. You cannot force me to teach in the class. I can go to the class sharp at 11. स्मिता मेरे को बोल रही थी, आप right time में ठीक time पे one of the lesson we learned, you came in time. But I can spend 1.5 hour without delivering anything. After 1.5 hour, I will say my session is over. Accountability, self-imposed accountability is the requirement of higher education among the teaching and non-teaching staff, among the educational, the leadership, among the academic leaders. Transparency should be there. Everything should be transparent. Everything should be so transparent, so visible that nobody should doubt about our integrity. Whenever I say this, I say with confidence that today these issues are existing in higher educational institution, because of which the framework of national education policy have given too much emphasis on this. We are not responsive. We are not responsibility to our stakeholders. हम आते हैं, मैं कह रहा हूँ, हम आते हैं, ऑफिस में बैठ जाते हैं, क्लास को चले जाते हैं, बट वी आर नॉट रेस्पॉन्सिव फॉर whom we are created, whom we are existing. We try to, rule of law. Whenever it comes to the rule of law, we see that it should exist for the sake of existing. We do as we wish, because of which stability is a question mark. And equity and inclusion, there is sometimes we differentiate. We do not take care of the people at the last. We do not think of inclusiveness. We do not take care of everything with us. We do not believe in empowerment. हम ये नहीं सोचते कि anybody can do anything given them an opportunity. We only select a group of people, group of flatterers whom we give the responsibility, and we do not want to develop everybody, which is the requirement of a democratic country, which is a requirement of a higher education, a democratic system. So what is the governance requirement of the governance? Broad-based participation of all its stakeholders. Broad-based participation of all its stakeholders, the requirement of academic governance. It requires a creation of culture and favorable institutional environment. I'm a student. I had the privilege to study in IIM Ahmedabad for a year. I did my faculty development program. Usme I could see that everybody understand everything. People understand silence there. Nobody is supposed to speak. Even a attendant in front of classroom, उसको पता है उसको क्या करना है. टेबल क्लासरूम में पानी है कि नहीं टीचर के लिए, टेबल डेस्क है कि डस्टर है कि नहीं, चौक है कि नहीं, मार्कर है कि नहीं, वो स्लाइड काम करेगा कि नहीं, एवरीथिंग ही नोज. The teacher has to, the faculty has to simply go to classroom and he has to do. But how many IIMs are there? Beyond IIMs, what is happening? That is to be seen. क्लास में झाड़ू नहीं लगता है, एंड क्लास में टीचर टाइम पे नहीं आता है, स्टूडेंट टाइम पे नहीं आता है, कोई किसको कहता नहीं है, कोई किसको कुछ कहना नहीं चाहते, एक दूसरों को डरते हैं, एक दूसरों को अवॉइड करते हैं. सब लोग सोचते तनख्वाह है, वी आर गेटिंग सैलरी इज आवर राइट. समटाइम्स आई स्पीक, पीपल फील बैड. आई से यू आर गेटिंग पेंशन फॉर 40 years, 30 years, 35 years, you are getting pension without having a feeling that I have to do something. So a culture of excellence is to be created. A favorable institutional environment is to be created where people should speak. A stakeholder should speak. I don't like this. I want this. This should be done. What has happened today? कोई किसको परवाह नहीं करता है. हम गुरुकुल का बारे में पिक्चर भी देखे, एंड पीपल कम टू एजुकेशनल फॉर डेवलपमेंट. कभी कभी तो ये लगने लग गया है कि हायर एजुकेशन, पीपल आर कमिंग टू हायर एजुकेशनल इंस्टीट्यूशन फॉर डिक्लाइन, एंड इफ दे आर नॉट सेल्फ मोटिवेटेड, सेल्फ डायरेक्टेड, सेल्फ कंट्रोल, then they are coming for getting finished. They come for decline. So requirement of the time, the emphasis of National Education Policy 2020 is to revive our past. हम विश्व गुरु बनना चाहते हैं. हम विश्व गुरु थे, कुछ देर तक कुछ समस्या हो गया जिसमें थोड़ा सा प्रॉब्लम हुआ है, हम उसको बदलना चाहते हैं, वो बदलने के लिए वी हैव टू चेंज द कल्चर ऑफ द इंस्टीट्यूशन, हायर एजुकेशनल इंस्टीट्यूशन. वी हैव टू क्रिएट a favorable organizational climate where people should feel free. People should feel free to express their expectations. People should feel free to react what is right and what is wrong. And it is the exercise of power and authority in order to manage an institution, academic governance. Exercise because I have power. As a vice chancellor, I have the power. And because of the power, because of my position, I have the authority. But question is, am I using it? Am I using for the purpose of the institution? If it is asked, many a time I found it is no. If it is yes, then इंस्टीट्यूशन में झाड़ू लगेगा. इंस्टीट्यूशन का जो प्लांट है उसका पेड़ गिरने से पहले वो वीसी को पूछेगा, वो प्रिंसिपल को पूछेगा कि मैं ये पत्ता नीचे गिरूं कि नहीं. आई एम गिविंग द एग्जाम्पल ऑफ IIM अहमदाबाद. आई एम गिविंग द एग्जाम्पल ऑफ कुरुक्षेत्र यूनिवर्सिटी वेयर आई वाज ए स्टूडेंट. कोई भी इंस्टीट्यूशन एक समय था, ये बनना भी बहुत मुश्किल था. ये डबल प्लस बन जाता है आसानी से नहीं है. दे शुड हैव सम कैरेक्टरिस्टिक्स. I have gone to a few institutions where as a chairman, as in the NAC team, हमको तो अपना हाथ ऐसे ही बढ़ गया कि इनको A डबल प्लस मिलना चाहिए. जिस इंस्टीट्यूशन में हर आदमी there is a culture, there is a environment, climate where everybody is empowered. Everybody knows what is his role and responsibility. This has been created by the culture, by the founder of the organization, by the head of the institutions. So it is possible because of governance, effective governance. So governance is what? Governance is about how power is distributed and shared by the leader of the organization, how policies are formulated and priorities are set and stakeholders are made accountable. This itself is a very clear-cut message what governance is. And if how power is distributed, I am a vice chancellor. I was a director. So I had decided what is my mission, what is the mission of my institution, what I have to do to fulfill the mission or vision of the institution. And to fulfill that vision and mission, I have to see that the power which is given to the what power I have the positional power. I have to see that how that power is distributed from top to bottom and shared with all the stakeholders. How policies are to be formulated and priorities are to be set, which is to be done first, which is to be done next, and how stakeholders are to be made accountable. मेरे पास 500 लोग है, मेरे पास 1000 लोग है, लेकिन कौन क्या करेगा? Because we have to chain of authority जो है, हम उसको we have to make it very clear. The structure is to be created in such a way. So we have to see that the span of control should be such that it should be controllable, where accountability can be fixed. So as leader of the institution, as the governor of the governance, you have to think of, you should have to deeply involve to see that this should be done in such a way, because no leader of the institution is appointed forever. He may be appointed or she may be appointed for 3 years or 5 years or 10 years. Once you know that this is your tenure, you should set the vision to fulfill the mission of the institution, vision of the institution. Accordingly, you should decide what you have to do in the 5 years or 10 years, and to complete that 5 years, what every year you have to do. And once you decide that what you have to do in 5 years and every year, you should now distribute the responsibility and authority among the people. You should do that. You should set policies and procedures. People should not play game कि मैं ये करना चाहता हूं, मैं ये नहीं करना चाहता हूं, मैं ये कहना चाहता हूं। मैं 10-12 साल डायरेक्टर रहा एक इंस्टीट्यूशन को। पहला ईंट लगा के ऊपर तक व्हाइट हाउस बनाया उसको पंडित रविशंकर शुक्ला यूनिवर्सिटी रायपुर का डायरेक्टर स्कूल ऑफ मैनेजमेंट। और जो इंस्टीट्यूशन पेड़ का नीचे चलता था उसको मैंने व्हाइट हाउस को शिफ्ट करके, जो इंस्टीट्यूशन में एडमिशन नहीं हो रहा था, प्लेसमेंट नहीं हो रहा था, कंटिन्यूअसली आई एंश्योर दैट देयर शुड बी फॉर 60 सीट्स 2000 3000 पीपल स्टार्टेड अप्लाइंग फॉर एमबीए प्रोग्राम। प्लेसमेंट के लिए बच्चे नहीं मिलते थे। इट रिक्वायर्स कमिटमेंट, conviction, concern, and time of the leader. And you have to think about it. And in this context, I'll tell you that after completing my tenure as a not tenure, as after 12 years of job as a director, then I became vice chancellor. I became vice chancellor of a university which was most notorious university of the state. I still remember when I was chosen for the post of Vice Chancellor, Honorable Governor of that time said, I need a Director General Police than a academician to run the system. I was shocked, surprised, sir, why you are saying like this? He said that it is a most notorious place where the teacher does not take class, students do not come to the class, some gundas are staying in the university campus. Campus is having no boundary. People come to the guest house. People खाना खा के चले जाते हैं. Students or leaders are staying in the campus and they are occupying the hostel for 25 years, 30 years. Around 65 rooms are occupied by them for more than 15 to 20 years. इस यूनिवर्सिटी को चलाना था बहुत मुश्किल है. Can you do it, my dear friends? It requires leadership and it requires governance. Because look at it, whenever I talk about this, I am giving you real life example, case examples. I said I can try and I will give you result. I joined the university. I joined the university with a welcome address that there was murder. I saw the university that the people, outsiders are coming inside the universities without boundary, a 65, 70 years old university. And Vice Chancellor office is open to all the gundas. And anybody can be given appointment, anybody can do anything in the system whenever there is a seminar or conference. Though the outsiders come, take money from the organizers. The people, the invitees before taking food, those people used to take food. And these people who were occupying the rooms, they have occupied for 10, 15, 20 years. They are not students of the university. So when I entered, joined the university, after seeing all these things, I said, "Marna hai, nahi to marna hai." My first effort in the first 15 days was that through proper procedure, I gave notice, and on 16th notice, I get those hostels, 7 hostels, catch hold of those 65 people. In the process, somebody fell down and was dead. After that, that was the end of a situation which was prevailing for almost 40 to 50 years. I could have said, मेरे को क्या मतलब है भाई? I came for vice chancellor. I have become vice chancellor. मेरा काम खत्म. Teacher used to avoid classes, don't take classes. Within first month of joining, I took round of the departments. I took some classes. I ensured that the teacher has to come. So instead went for establishing biometric, taking biometric attendance. आप लोग ये सोच रहे होंगे कि आपको कोई परेशानी नहीं हो रहा था. परेशान तो ये हो रहा था. Teacher was also opposing, non-teaching staffs were opposing. Everybody was trying to remove me from the system. Even there was threat of killing the vice chancellor. There was no boundary. And very interestingly, that university campus was divided into 2 parts. A state highway was going across the university. So I have a tenure of 3 years as a student of management and as a student of strategic management. As I told earlier, that I have 3 years tenure. I have to see it set the vision, the mission, the purpose, the objectives and goals which we teach in strategic management. In 3 years' time, I should see that the boundaries should be made, the hostel boundaries should be done, the outsiders should be removed, the classes are to be held, the teachers have to get project, and peace and tranquility should be established so that a healthy environment should be created and people should feel comfortable. The libraries should be opened at least 10 to 11, 12 o'clock in the night, because there are 7 boys hostel, 5 girls hostel, and around 2,000 students are staying in the campus with more than 200 quarters. And it was a situation where there was the all messes of 12 hostels used to be closed. Outsiders come, eat, go away. So why I share this story? Because the university used to come, there was this university was existing, and there was no reaction. People have taken it for granted. When I initiated that the people should be out, the hostelers, the people who have occupied the hostel unauthorizedly, people said, सर आपको तो रहना ही मुश्किल हो जाएगा, मुझे रहने के लिए कौन आया है, मेरे को तो जाना है. सो मेरे को जाना है, लेकिन जाने से पहले कुछ करके जाना है. So on 16th notice, when the people attacked the police personnel on that night, in the process of fighting, somebody was dead. That was the end of that Gundaraj from the hostel. Everybody left the hostel. I opened the doors of the hostel rooms, disconnected the electricity, and kept it for 2 months. Nobody came. In that 2 months time, I constructed the broken boundary of the boys' hostel. Started common mess for all the people who used to live in the 7 hostels. What I am trying to say, मेरे को भी लोग धमका रहे थे, हमको मार देंगे, आपको रहने नहीं देंगे. जब बायोमेट्रिक अटेंडेंस हुआ, लोग बोले कि हम लोग नहीं करेंगे. People come out of their house, but they don't come to class. So the point which I want to make, governance, whenever we occupy a position, that position is the positional power. We have to utilize the power. We have to make the best utilization of the power and authority which is attached to the position. हमको डर डर के चलाने से अच्छा है मर जाना ठीक है. What I feel as head of the institution, as a leader of the system, if we do not think about why national education policy talk about governance and leadership, because somewhere something has happened. The governance is in confusion. I can say with all boldness, it is because of the leadership. Because we are very much concerned about our chair. मेरा कुछ भी हो जाए, मेरा 3 साल पूरा हो जाए, मेरा 5 साल पूरा हो जाए, लेकिन गवर्नेंस कहीं पे जाए, लेकिन मेरा पोजीशन बिगड़ न जाए, मेरे को निकलना ना पड़े. Because of which national education policy talks to what I have written. It is written in the national education policy that the people who are occupying the position of vice chancellor or principal in higher educational institution, they should go by this to see that efficiency and effectiveness should be established in higher educational institutions, my dear friends. And as many of you must be observing this in your respective educational institution, that this is just a lecture, but sir, reality is not happening. I agree with you, but time has come. If national education policy 2020 is to be implemented in toto, Without effective governance and efficient leadership, it will be a dead dream. We are in the fag end. I am in the fag end of my career. हम दुनिया देखे हैं, एजुकेशनल सिस्टम को देखे हैं, हम भी देख रहे और देखेंगे. If this is not implemented in toto with full spirit, the vision and mission of national education policy will be difficult to achieve. And in this context, what is the objective of governance? To build a great academic institute, to mobilize and transfer the available physical, human and financial resources to achieve concrete outcomes. क्या हो रहा है? बिल्डिंग बनी है, बिल्डिंग पड़ा है, बिल्डिंग बनने के बाद यूज नहीं हो रहे, वो टूट रहा है. एंड द ह्यूमन रिसोर्सेस, जितना कुछ जगह पे ऐसे है विडंबना कि दैट देयर आर प्लेंटी ऑफ पीपल बट वर्क इज नॉट प्रॉपरली allocated. And financial resources, whatever is existing, that is not properly utilized. जो आता है मेरा टेन्योर में सब खर्च करके चला जाऊं. कोई बचाता है, कोई खर्चा करता है. As a result, what is happening? There is a mismatch of the efforts with the vision of the institution. That should be controlled. That should be understood by the leaders who are occupying this position of higher educational institutions, who are going to be selected or who are occupying this position. And you know that what I am talking about, what an NEP talk, manage public affairs with transparency, equity, inclusiveness and responsive manner. मेरा टर्म खत्म, यूनिवर्सिटी बैंकरप्ट हो जाए, कॉलेज बैंकरप्ट हो जाए, मेरे को क्या मतलब है? If this will be the attitude, क्या गवर्नेंस का बारे में हम बात करेंगे? So we have to, this is a public fund and that should be managed with transparency. Everybody should know, it should be so transparent. A chaprasi has also right to see that if he wants, देख भाई ये हमारे पास 5 करोड़ है, हम उसको ऐसे ही खर्च कर रहे हैं, ऐसे खर्चा करना चाहते हैं. You will have a realization कि मेरा जो डिमांड है, मैं जो कह रहा हूं, ये जायज है कि जायज नहीं. एंड इक्विटी, मैं 5 लोगों को सपोर्ट करूंगा कि नो मेरा वो चमचा है और दूसरा लोगों को इग्नोर करूंगा. तो सभी लोग बराबर होना चाहिए. इंक्लूसिवनेस, we have to take care of everybody should be, now there should not be disparity because of the position and power people are occupying in the organization or outside the organization. We should take care of everybody in responsive manner. We should be insensitive नहीं होना चाहिए हम लोगों को. That if at all we have to run a great academic institution, we should be responsive to the stakeholders, responsive to the student community, responsive to the teachers community, to the non-teaching community, responsive towards society. हम ऐसे कोई काम नहीं करना चाहिए जिसमें सोसाइटी कहेगा इंस्टीट्यूशन बनने का कारण इधर समस्या हो गया. ये भी हो रहा है कुछ जगह पे. इंस्टीट्यूशन बनने का बाद लोग परेशान हो रहे, इंस्टीट्यूशन बनने का बाद ये समस्या है. सो दिस शुड बी द मैनेजर ऑफ द लीडर ऑफ दिस academic institution to understand this, that how they have to manage the affairs in such a way that nobody can raise question, nobody should raise doubt, integrity about the system. In fact, the good governance is सोचते हैं मैं तो वाइस चांसलर हूँ, मैं तो प्रिंसिपल हूँ, मैं ऑटोक्रेटिक हो जाऊंगा, मैं जो चाहूंगा करूंगा, मेरे पास पावर है, मैं इसको सस्पेंड कर दूंगा, उसको टर्मिनेट कर दूंगा, इसको इग्नोर कर दूंगा, उसको उठा के फेंक दूंगा. उसमें क्या होगा? आप लोगों से दूर रहेंगे. You cannot be close to people and you cannot be close to the system. So what is the requirement of time? Participative, democratic. इंस्टीट्यूशन सभी का है. मैं कभी कभी आज तक जहां पे रहा हूं हमेशा बोलता हूं, the vice chancellor or principal is the most contractual temporary person of the system. सबको ये बताना है, बिगड़ेगा तो तुम लोगों का लॉस होगा, अच्छा होगा तो तुम ही लोग उसका बेनिफिशियरी हो, लेकिन जो जिसका रेस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी उसको करना है, नहीं करोगे तो देन यू आई एम द लास्ट पर्सन टू टॉलरेट इट. सो वी हैव टू डू इट टुगेदर. ऐसे नहीं है कि हर आदमी सब कुछ परफेक्टली करेगा. Wherever there is no perfection, we should teach them, we should train them, we should retrain them, we should skill them so that they should get involved in the functioning of the system. As I say, transparency is missing in the system. क्यों? ये प्रश्न का जवाब हमको देना एक पब्लिक प्लेटफॉर्म में सही नहीं लगता है, लेकिन there should be transparency. Nothing should be hidden from none. It should be open book. भाई कागज तो ऐसे ही चलेगा, कागज ऐसे ही चलेगा, पॉलिसी में लिखा है वी आर ऑल गवर्न बाय द स्टैट्यूट, एक्ट, ऑर्डिनेंस. If it is a government institution, it has its own rules and regulation of the government. If it is a private institution, it has own rules and regulations. The moment we practice discrimination, we will lose faith in the system, and the transparency will not exist. So we should not have discrimination. We should involve everybody. That is what I said, participating. It should be effective and equitable. उसको इंक्रीमेंट देना है, उसको छुट्टी देना है, उसको विदेश जाने के लिए पैसा देना है, उसको नहीं देना है क्यों ना मेरे को इंसल्ट किया था, मेरे खिलाफ में काम कर रहे. नो, बिकॉज it should be equitable for everybody. If there is a policy, the beneficiary should be benefited and accountable. Everybody should be accountable, starting from chaprasi to the vice chancellor. We should create a culture that everybody should be accountable at every level, so that everybody cannot neglect his or her duty. हम तो ये कहते हैं, ये सोचते भी है, काफी हद तक लोग सोचते हैं ये तो सीधा है, काफी लोग तक करेगा क्या, कुछ नहीं होगा, इंस्टीट्यूशन खत्म हो जाएगा. आज जो लोग नेशनल एजुकेशन पॉलिसी बनाने में इन्वॉल्व है, जो लोग नेशनल एजुकेशन पॉलिसी इम्प्लीमेंटेशन में इन्वॉल्व है, उनमें कुछ लोगों को बहुत दर्द है. ये हो क्यों रहा है, ये कैसे सुधरेगा? क्योंकि ना हम लोग में जो गलती हो रहा है और हो भी सकता है, because we do not select the right people for right position. So that should be discouraged, that should be stopped. Academic governance is the framework of policy, structure, relationship, systems and process that collectively provide leadership to the higher education and facilitate academic activities, teaching, learning, scholarship, research training, if applicable, at an institutional level. So these are the things which together constitute academic leadership, which gives birth to leadership, which facilitate effective leadership in higher educational institutions, and both are complementary to each other. Leadership and governance, they are complementary to each other. Without one, other is incomplete, other is ineffective, other is redundant. हम कहेंगे गवर्नेंस, लीडर ही गधा है, लीडर इज नॉट कॉम्पिटेंट. लीडर कॉम्पिटेंट है, गवर्नेंस सिस्टम बना नहीं ठीक से, पहले से पॉलिसी प्रोसीजर सब ऐसे ही है. सो whenever we have to be effective organization, we want efficiency in the system. Two things: effective organizational effectiveness. In a simple words, to achieve organizational effectiveness is ability of the organization to achieve its goals. Whose goal? How many goals? These are the issues not for confusion, but organization has a goal, what we nowadays call vision of the institution or a mission of the institution, that is to be achieved. And that is to be achieved through proper governance, policy, procedure, participation, involvement, but it all requires an effective leader. So, for fulfilling the vision of national education policy, to build a strong educational institution in the light of नेशनल एजुकेशन पॉलिसी 2020, हम लोगों को इसका बारे में सोचना है कि दैट व्हाट वी हैव टू डू, वी हैव टू स्ट्रेंथन बोथ लीडरशिप and governance, and what it says, if the both are complementary to each other, and we have to, academic leader has to establish efficient and transparent institutional governance and administration. If you have to, if you have to जाओ, if an academic leader has to, what he has to do, he has to establish efficient and transparent institutional governance and administration. Leader and effective recruitment of teachers, staff on the basis of merit and excellence should be the only consideration. You know, what has happened, given me an opportunity, I always blame as a student of management. The whole system is paralyzed. Whole inefficiency is developing in the system because in the second point we are failing largely because only effective recruitment and of people is requirement of efficient organization, effective recruitment system. No high bhatijabad. There should be criteria for selection of the people. There should be efficient, transparent policy for the selection of the people. And if there is no right person, we should select the right people for right job. And we should not compromise for anybody, for anything, whenever we are in the selection of the right person, whether it is a teacher or staff. हम कभी कभी क्या सोचते हैं, अरे चल जाएगा, 50 लोग ले रहे, 10 लोग में तो ऐसे ही आ जाता है, उसका सुपारिश से, इसका सुपारिश से, ये कहा है. कुछ लोग इस वजह से हमसे भी नाराज रहते हैं. अपना लंबा जीवन का यात्रा में पिछला 2003 से हम काफ़ी सिलेक्शन कमेटी में इन्वॉल्व है, डिफरेंट यूनिवर्सिटी में, डिफरेंट प्रोसेस में. हमने देखे कि सर क्या फर्क पड़ता है. मैं कहा फर्क आपको नहीं पड़ता, लेकिन हम साइन नहीं करेंगे. हम तो साइन नहीं करेंगे. कुछ लोग हमारा परमानेंटली दुश्मन भी बन गए, हम साइन नहीं करेंगे. यू हैव टू सिलेक्ट द राइट पर्सन. कोई भाई भतीजावाद नहीं होना चाहिए. दैट इज व्हाई NEP 2020 says effective recruitment of teacher of staff on the basis of merit and excellence should be the only consideration, and create enabling environment for excellence, excellent ideas and functionaries. Discourage patronage and favoritism. आप लोगों में, my dear participants, some of you might be feeling, मैं हो सकता है आप लोगों को कष्ट भी दे रहा होगा. ये बात सुन के आप लोगों को लग रहा होगा सर क्या बात कर रहे हैं. आप लोग सब हमसे उम्र में छोटे हैं, काफी लोग, सभी लोग छोटे हो उम्र में. हमने आज बात कर रहे एक्सपीरियंशियल लर्निंग. मैं तो एक्सपीरियंशियल टीचिंग का बारे में बात कर रहा हूँ. इफ यू हैव एक्सपीरियंस्ड, आई हैव एक्सपीरियंस्ड विथ पेन that patronage and favoritism is coming so hugely that कभी कभी लगता है कि one should not be part of the process. Actually हम कभी कभी इस चीज को कहते भी है. आपको के बिल्डिंग में खराब बना दो, टूट जाएगा, फिर नया बिल्डिंग बन जाएगा. इफ वी आर सिलेक्टिंग ए रॉन्ग पर्सन, a teacher, for example, a lecturer is selected, wrong lecturer is selected, vis-a-vis the best people available, वो 40 साल तक पढ़ाएगा, 4000 बच्चों को पढ़ाएगा, 4000 बच्चे और 4000 को बच्चे पढ़ाएंगे। हम लोग क्या कर रहे हैं? जर्मन चांसलर बोलता है, if you want to destroy your country, you destroy the education system of your country. That is why she said that some people asked why you are paying so much to the teachers. He said that I am whatever I am today, it is because of it only some teacher made me this whatever I am today. इस देश में भी अभी हम लोगों का भी तनख्वाह मोर देन द प्राइम मिनिस्टर एंड प्रेसिडेंट ऑफ द कंट्री। उसका बारे में कभी कभी सोचने भी हम लोगों को मजबूर होना चाहिए कि क्या हम कर रहे हैं, क्या करना चाहिए और क्या हम कर रहे हैं। सो perhaps this type of discussion, debate among us, my dear friends, young people, future of this country, the future torch bearer and future to implement the National Education Policy 2020. You have to understand your role and responsibility. So we have to create an enabling environment for excellence as leaders, excellent ideas and functionaries. लोग इनोवेटिव आइडिया लेकर आते हैं, अरे बकवास बंद कर, अपना काम जाके कर। लोग आते नहीं है, कोई ऐसे ही लोग आना नहीं चाहते और कोई आता है तो हम डिस्करेज, पैट्रोनेज एंड फेवरेटिज्म। ग्रूम फ्यूचर लीडर्स। जो पॉलिटिकल पार्टी में हो रहा है वही हमारे एजुकेशनल इंस्टीट्यूशन में हो रहे हैं, जो कि गवर्नमेंट ऑफ इंडिया आज करे लीडरशिप डेवलपमेंट प्रोग्राम शुरू कर रहा है। सो वी आज head of the institutions, we should groom leadership, future leaders within the system. We should give responsibility for different activities in the system. And this responsibility should be rotated among the people. एक ही आदमी कर रहा है and कर रहा है। वो जो कर रहा है he is also unhappy, and जो नहीं कर पा रहे हैं they are also unhappy. They say we are deprived. Why? Because we should be against the patronage and favoritism. We should not. We should discourage, so that we can groom future leaders, and we should establish and inculcate culture of accountability among the people in the system. That should be, लोगों को खुद को लगना चाहिए कि यार मेरे को तो पूछा जाएगा, मैं खुद को क्या जवाब दूंगा? What answer I will have if the student do not do well in the system, if the things become a failure? People should feel, we should create a culture of accountability in the system. And आपको हर चीज को कंट्रोल करना, we should create a empowered organization. Everybody should understand what is his role, and we should promote and guide excellence in teaching and research also. then हम कभी कभी सोच भूल जाते इसका बारे में। इसमें there are many issues, but we should promote and guide excellence in teaching and research. And what it is, it's a planning, प्रिपरेशन ऑफ इंस्टीट्यूशनल डेवलपमेंट प्लान जो यूजीसी कह रहे हैं, आजकल सभी इंस्टीट्यूशन कर रहा है। वी शुड प्रिपेयर द इंस्टीट्यूशनल डेवलपमेंट प्लान फॉर 5 years, फॉर शॉर्ट टर्म, फॉर मिड टर्म, लॉन्ग टर्म, कि हम लोगों को 5 साल का बाद क्या करना है, 10 साल का बाद क्या करना है, 20 साल का बाद क्या करना है। अकॉर्डिंगली वी शुड प्लान। जैसे गवर्नमेंट हमको एक नया प्रोग्राम दे रहे, बोलता है आपका पास बिल्डिंग होना है, आपका जगह ही नहीं, आपका पास जगह है और पैसा नहीं है, आपका पास जगह है, पैसा है, मैन पावर नहीं है। वी शुड प्रिपेयर द इंस्टीट्यूशनल प्लान, डेवलपमेंट प्लान, institutional development plan. We should lead research, improvement and innovation. We as leader, we should lead the research, improvement and innovation in the system. We should contribute, we should facilitate faculty improvement. Faculty improvement नहीं होगा तो एजुकेशनल इंस्टीट्यूशन क्या मतलब? स्ट्रैटेजिक डाटाबेस डिसीजन मेकिंग, अपना whimsical decision मत लीजिए. We should not take. Whenever that we should take decision, we should be competitive in our decision. We should have a competitive approach. We should see that how it's going to have impact in the long run in the system. And we should make the best use of increased institutional autonomy. Best use of institutional autonomy. So how institution should be so autonomous that people should work without any fear and apprehension that उसमें कुछ interference होगा बाहर का, whether it is government or outside stakeholders. And strategic resource generation, because अभी एक ऐसी समस्या आ रहा है, my dear friends, all of you must be feeling now, must be realizing now that government थोड़ा सा अपना हाथ खींच रहा है, अच्छा कर रहा है. Government wants we should be self-sustainable. As a result, what is the requirement? we should go for resource generation. We should think of what we have to do, what skill programs, what other programs, professional programs. We should training programs, what consultancy programs. We should start in our respective areas, respective domain, so that we can generate resource. ये एटीट्यूड अभी डेवलप होना है, इसके लिए लीडरशिप फैसिलिटेट करना चाहिए और टीम बिल्डिंग जो कि बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट रिक्वायरमेंट है, उसके लिए हम लोगों को काम करना चाहिए. हम लोग क्या करते हैं, कभी कभी देखते हैं डिवाइड एंड रूल पॉलिसी हम अडॉप्ट करते हैं. We should stop this practice. We should bring people from different specialization, different department. They should work in like a team, so that you can take up many project, many time without any tension, without any tension of losing or failure. बहुत अच्छे इंस्टीट्यूशन आज देश में बड़े हुए हैं, बड़े हो रहे हैं, because that team building culture exists in that institution. And that team building culture, कुछ कल्चर ही ऐसे बना है, उसको कुछ भी करो टूटेगा नहीं. It has been made by some leaders sometime. So team building should be, the team culture should be created by the leader of the institution. We should seize opportunity and planning for long-term growth. Opportunity jahan we should seize it, and the ultimate objective should be long-term growth. And there should be professionalizing academic administration. Because हम लोग ऐसे ही चलता है, ये एटीट्यूड नहीं होना चाहिए. झाड़ू नहीं लग रहे, गंदा कपड़ा पहन रहे, पानी पीने के लिए नहीं है, टॉयलेट बाथरूम नहीं है, और कोई आ रहे तो बैठने के लिए जगह नहीं है, कोई किसको सुन नहीं रहे. We should stop it. Let us go compare ourselves with an industry. जैसे if you go there, you will find that somebody is waiting for you to receive you. लेकिन एजुकेशन कॉलेज में आ रहे, प्रिंसिपल के लिए बैठा है, वीसी के लिए बैठा है, चला जा रहा है. कोई आके पूछ रहे, even many a time, many institutions do not have a person in the counter, reception counter. Many institutions do not have a reception counter. So we should think in this direction. At the entry point, there should be somebody who should be so concerned to serve and solve the problems of the people. People love to go inside the institution to see that what really is happening in the institution. So we should build capacities relevant to efficient management and strategic planning. We should develop skills in utilizing institutional research in planning and decision making. We should enhance leadership and management skills of existing concepts. These are the things which we have to do for the effective governance and leadership. So, good governance and leadership in pipeline, groom potential. जो मैंने पहले कहा है, we should groom potential leaders. Our institution, in every institution, you will find people with potential to be leaders. But we discourage them. We feel he will be my competitor. He will create problem for the system. This habit should be discouraged, should be demolished in the leadership, in the among the attitude of the leaders. हम दूसरों को बढ़ने नहीं दे रहे, दूसरों को ग्रूम नहीं करने दे रहे. So what we should do? We should leadership in pipeline. We should groom leaders, potential leaders. Succession planning हमको होना चाहिए. We should make succession planning. We should institutionalize system whereby good leaders and meritorious persons are given their due importance. कभी कभी हम क्या डरते हैं, मेरे से ज्यादा बुद्धिमान लोग बन जाएगा तो मेरा क्या होगा. The attitude also we find in many educational institutions where people think that मेरे से ज्यादा विद्वान है तो क्या होगा. We should stop this habit, stop this attitude. We should not have this attitude कि if somebody brilliant than me will come, then मेरे को people will ignore करेंगे. कोई ignore नहीं करेगा. So good leaders will have improved governance, strategic and improved resource generation, and ultimately quality of institution. And good leaders can transform institution that is not performing well. As I told about my previous experience as one of the universities of a state, where people said, when people were reluctant to take admission, then that once upon a time, when the governor at the time of selection had said that we need a director general police to be the vice chancellor, he said a professor also can transform an institution. So it is all possible because of leadership, because of the conviction of the leader, because of the philosophy of leader, because of the value system of the leader. We should not come to pass time. समय बीत जाएगा, मेरा टर्म खत्म हो जाएगा, मेरे को क्या मतलब है. कुछ भाई लोग कभी कभी मीटिंग में ही बोलते हैं, आप क्यों चिल्लाते हो, क्या परेशानी है, अपना टाइम पास करो. टाइम पास करने के लिए तो प्रोफेसरशिप बहुत है. You know, nobody can force somebody that you become principal or you become vice chancellor. खुद ही बनते हैं, लेकिन बोलते हैं टाइम पास करना. टाइम पास करने के लिए टीचर से ज्यादा तो अच्छा कुछ नहीं है. अपना 1 क्लास ले लो, 2 क्लास ले लो, 5 क्लास ले लो, आराम करो. So you should be a transformational leader, and for which you should have commitment, conviction, a strong value system. हम करके देखेंगे, करके दिखाएंगे. And NEP 2020 talks about leadership. What it talks about? All leadership position and heads of institution will be offered to persons with high academic qualification and demonstrated administrative and leadership capabilities, along with abilities to manage complex situations. इस context में what I told you earlier, if you do not develop the leaders whenever you are in position, then how we are going to meet the requirement of national education policy? We should offer to a person with high academic qualification and demonstrated administrative and leadership capabilities. हमने उसको काम नहीं करने दिए. अभी बोलते हैं तुम्हारे पास, तुम तो कभी एडमिनिस्ट्रेटिव एबिलिटी और कैपेबिलिटी आपका पास तो कुछ है ही नहीं. इसलिए लोग बोलते हैं जो रोटेशन सिस्टम व्हिच केम इनटू एग्जिस्टेंस इन द यूनिवर्सिटीज, आई डू नॉट नो अबाउट कॉलेजेस, बट यूनिवर्सिटीज में रोटेशन इसी वजह से आया था, बिकॉज let the people prove that whenever they are given an opportunity of leadership, directorship or headship or deanship, people during that 3 years time or 2 years time contribute so much substantially, visibly that you develop a groomed leader. So as a leader, we should not stop rotation. We should not discourage the participation. We should not discourage the people to come out openly, that if they have some innovative ideas, creative ideas, we should encourage it. We should involve them in the decision-making process. We should involve them in the team so that let them show their capabilities beside teaching and research. Leaders of higher educational institution will demonstrate strong alignment to the constitutional values and the overall vision of the institution, along with the attributes such as strong social commitment, belief in teamwork, pluralism, ability to work with diverse people, and a positive outlook. In this context, my views are very clear. I have very clearly told in the beginning, because of these requirement of a higher educational institution was missing in the system. That is why national education policy is concerned about it. And the most interesting part is the selection shall be carried out by the Board of Governors through a rigorous, impartial, merit-based, and competency-based process led by eminent expert committee constituted by Board of Governors. Board of Governors. About this point, I have to remain silent. I do not want to give any comment, and but this should be taken care of by the appropriate government at the appropriate time if we want to fulfill the vision and mission of national education policy. Failing which, entire discussion which I had for last more than 1 hour is meaningless, which many of you understand what I am trying to say. And about again, NEP 2020 talks about leadership, that while stability of tenure is important to ensure the development of suitable culture, at the same time leadership succession will be planned with care. This is also missing in the system. Now, the government of India, as I said, leadership development programs are conducted through MMTTC in different institutions, in IIMs, so that they are trying to groom the leaders. उसका बारे में हमारा सिर्फ यही कहना है, right people should be selected for this program, right people should be nominated for this program, so that the people who have taste, people who have desire. अभी एक नया चीज भी हम देखते हैं, everybody wants to be vice chancellor, everybody wants to be principal, लेकिन उनका पास वो टेस्ट होना चाहिए, वो कमिटमेंट होना चाहिए, वो कंसर्न होना चाहिए, उनको हमें ट्रेनिंग देना चाहिए, so that we are moving in a right direction. But at the point which is made, right selection, efficient recruitment system should be there everywhere to ensure that good practices that define an institution's process do not end due to change in leadership. ये हो रहा है, ये नहीं होना चाहिए. मैं कुछ करके जाऊंगा, मेरे बाद जो दूसरा आदमी आएगा उसको बंद कर देगा, उसमें क्या होगा? Then there will be always a break in the system. The leadership change will come with sufficient overlaps, not remain vacant, in order to ensure smooth transaction. So if we groom leaders, if we develop a policy in the system, a culture, जो पहला बाल करके गए थे, वाजपेयी जी कुछ करके गए, बीजेपी उसको करता जा रहा है, तब जाके इस देश में डेवलपमेंट हुआ. तब हम उसको विरोध करेंगे? बीच में हुआ है, which you understand. The way the things were developing, it changed because we say it was not our party. Same thing should not be the case whenever we talk about leadership in the educational institution. पहला लीडर ये करके गया है, इसलिए मैं नहीं करूंगा, ये एटीट्यूड नहीं होना चाहिए. So then outstanding leaders will be identified and developed early, working their way through a ladder of leadership position. ये leadership में बात कर रहा हूँ. क्या है लीडर? Some great leaders who brought changes in their times and changed the face of this world, मैं उनका बारे में कहूँगा. They are relevant in the context of education, relevant to the leadership in educational position. मैं कुछ example around गांधी जी. Leadership is the ability to influence people to obtain their willing cooperation. हम ऐसे काम करना चाहिए, ऐसे खुद को एक मॉडल बनाना चाहिए. आज एजुकेशनल लीडर्स लोग हमको फॉलो करेंगे, दे विल प्रोवाइड देम विलिंग कोऑपरेशन. हमको उसी लेवल को बनना पड़ेगा. वी हैव टू डेवलप आवरसेल्फ टू दैट लेवल सो दैट पीपल विल support us. People will give their willing cooperation. We will progress, organization will progress. And similarly, what Swami Vivekananda kaha tha, in a day when you do not come across any problem, you can be sure that you are traveling in a wrong path. हम लोग क्या करते हैं, डरते हैं. क्या करेंगे? कहेंगे तो झगड़ा होगा, अच्छा बात कहेंगे तो झगड़ा होगा। अच्छा बात तो किसी को भी अच्छा नहीं करता है, अच्छा नहीं लगता है, लेकिन इंस्टीट्यूशन के लिए जो अच्छा है वो काम करना चाहिए। So that is what Vivekananda ji kaha tha. In a day, when you do not come across any problem, you can be sure that you are traveling in a wrong path. So my dear friends, हम लोग तो we have to face the challenges. If we have to develop a healthy organization, a strong organization, if we have to go for efficient governance of educational institution, we should face problem to achieve the efficiency and effectiveness organization. चार्ल्स डिकेंस क्या कहता, नेवर ब्रेक फोर थिंग्स इन योर लाइफ: trust, relations, promise and heart, because when they break they do not make noise but pains a lot. So as a leader हम false promise नहीं करना चाहिए. People should have trust in us. We should develop healthy relation, and because these are the things on the basis of which लोग बोलते हैं कि जो कहता है वही करता है, वो करेगा. So हम लोग वो विश्वास लोगों का बीच में पैदा करना चाहिए. Then 3 sentences for getting success, what William Shakespeare कहा था: know more than others, work more than others, expect less than others. लोग कभी भी आपको क्रिटिसाइज नहीं करेंगे, लोग आपका ऊपर विश्वास करेंगे. सो यू बी ए लीडर हु शुड नो मोर देन अदर्स, यू शुड वर्क मोर देन अदर्स. पीपल विल डेवलप कॉन्फिडेंस इन यू. जो कहता है वो करता है, और ज्यादा करता है, ज्यादा जानता है, उसका कोई उम्मीद नहीं है किससे, तब जाके लोग आपका पीछे भागेंगे. देन व्हाट हिटलर बोला था: इफ यू विन you need not have to explain. If you lose, you should not be there to explain. अपना काम करो. If you win, there is no need to explain. And if you lose, no need to, you will not be there to explain. अपना काम खत्म करो, चलो लोग फिर पीछे गाली देंगे, ठीक है? So then, what Mother Teresa कहते हैं: if we cannot love the person whom we see, how can we love God whom we cannot see? So this spirit should be developed in us. हम सबको people, so we should manage people like this. And Thomas Edison क्या कहता? I will not say I failed 100 times, 1,000 times. I will say that I discovered there are 1,000 ways that can cause failure. So we should experiment to achieve effectiveness. And Leo Tolstoy क्या बोले? Everyone thinks of changing the world, but no one thinks of changing himself. कभी कभी हम लोग अपना को भी चेंज करना चाहिए, if we really want to change the system. So what should be the core values of leader? Commitment, freedom and fairness. People will trust you. If you develop these core values as a leader: commitment to the system, commitment to the purpose, commitment to the vision of the institution, and commitment to the self values and freedom and fairness, will be a successful leader. You should have a vision. A leader without vision cannot achieve anything, cannot fulfill the vision of the institution. Right vision attracts the commitment and energies of the people. And the right vision creates meaning in employees' life. Because people should understand ये क्या करना चाहता है, हम लोगों के लिए क्या करेगा. And the right vision establishes a standard of excellence in the system. The right vision bridges the present and future of the organization. So लोग उसको लेट समझते हैं, but if you have a right vision for yourself and for the organization, people will understand it, and ultimately people will work for it. And you should be a transformational leader than a transactional leader. सब बातें कर करके टाइम बिताना नहीं चाहिए. हम लोग को ट्रांसफॉर्म करना चाहिए सिस्टम को जगाना चाहिए, सोता हुआ सिस्टम को जगाना चाहिए. We should transform the system than the transactional बातें करना चाहिए. So what is a transformational leadership? Transformational leader is one whose action that involve influencing major changes in the attitude and assumptions of organization members and building commitment of the organization's mission, objectives, and strategy. So instead of becoming a transactional leader, be a transformational leader. And what you should have the quality, you should have charisma, you should have inspiration, you should have intellectual stimulation and individualized consideration, my dear friends. We are all academicians. We can understand it better and we can practice it also. And one day, all of you should be transformational leaders to transform the educational system of this country, which is now in problem. If all of us work like transformational leader, we can transform the educational system of the country to fulfill the vision of National Education Policy 2020. The key to an organization becoming great leader, having a leader of level 5 leader is someone who blends genuine personal humility with intense professional will. That is also one of the requirement which is missing among the leaders. And level 5 leader, what it is? Leader channel that their egos needs away from themselves and into larger goals of building a great institute. So requirement is the level 5 leadership. What is a level 5 leader? Who has huge personal humility and professional will. These are the two things which need to be developed among people who are occupying the leadership position in the educational institution, especially whenever we talk about educational institution, these two things are to be groomed, these two things are to be developed so that all people who are largely educated, hugely educated, very high educational qualification, they can better go with you what you say. So, my dear friends, we have these type of people in this country who have been successful in leading the country, leading the organization, and they are there, and people like you will be joining their race if you change your this thing that you should enhance your personal humility and professional will. So, what a culture of you have to create a culture of discipline, disciplined people, disciplined thought, disciplined action. Combining a culture of discipline with an ethic of entrepreneurship result in great performance. So there are many more things that succession planning should be there. You should go for succession planning. A compelling modesty should be there in you. That unlike big personalities, APJ Abdul Kalam, Ratan Tata, Narayan Murthy, and don't talk about themselves. Level 5 leaders are extremely modest. They don't talk about themselves. So we have to be modest because educational institution हमको we want to people with highly modest quality. And this much today. So if you have any question, you can ask me. Otherwise, I hope I have I have whatever I wanted to say. But if any one of you have any question, you can ask me.
Hello
Any
everyone.
yeah.
Hello.
Ah,
Sir, sometime you explain very nicely, but I have a doubt. Like, if we in an educational institution leading, like academic leadership and other leadership is different. So, like, you have to take the responsibility of teaching also and leading the institution.
Smita, if I say,
Yes, sir.
I take it personally.
Yes, sir.
Miracle, I was a good teacher when I was academic. I was in academics, and while I was a leader, I was a director. I was a professor. I used to take my two classes at all cost. 9 to 10, 10 to 11, I will take classes. आफ्टर दैट मैं ईट जोड़ रहा था, ब्रिक जोड़ के बिल्डिंग बना रहा था. सो ये आप कहेंगे मैं क्लास लूंगा तो मैं रिसर्च करूंगा तो आई 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 कैनॉट डू ऑल दीज थिंग्स. फिर क्या होता है देखो. जो ग्राउंड लेवल में जुड़ा रहता है, द पॉलिटिशियंस. फॉर एग्जाम्पल, आई एम फ्रॉम आसाम. हिमंत विश्व शर्मा में इनबर्न लीडर. क्यों? वो स्टूडेंटहुड से अभी पॉलिटिक्स कर रहे हैं. उसको आसाम में कोई भी गांव में क्या हो रहा है वो बता देगा. इफ आई गो टू क्लास, I understand what is the requirement of the student, not only in terms of teaching, in terms of facilities, in terms of convenience, inconvenience. इसलिए हम कहेंगे, हमको तो आप कह रहे हो बिजनेस लीडर का बारे में बात करें. रतन टाटा ज्वाइंड एज ए वर्कर इन टाटा स्टील प्लांट. कैन यू बिलीव? देन व्हाट रतन टाटा बिकम. तो इसलिए वी हैव टू वर्क इन द ग्राउंड लेवल. सभी के लिए इट इज एप्लीकेबल.
So that's why, means to understand the environment and the climate of the institution
We should
and the
work at that
necessity
level.
and requirements. So
Yes.
first of all, we need to be in
Work.
the process, and then only we can lead. Sir.
Yes. Actually, in this context, I'll tell you, government was thinking to appoint anybody as vice, not necessary to be a professor. अभी भी वो इशू है, नॉट सॉर्टेड आउट. कुछ लोग परेशान हो गए. क्यों? तो यूनिवर्सिटी देखा नहीं है, एजुकेशनल इंस्टीट्यूशन देखा नहीं. हाउ विल बी द वाइस चांसलर? दैट वाज द ओनली कंसर्न. जो मैं एक रिसर्च स्कॉलर रहा, लेक्चरर रहा, रीडर रहा, प्रोफेसर रहा, आई नो द सिस्टम वेल. सो आई नो दैट आप स्मिता मेरे से बात करें, स्मिता से कैसे बात करना है. लेकिन if an IAS officer or a bureaucrat or a politician become the vice chancellor, there is a possibility that he may or she may behave better than me. But what is there? To avoid that, but we should groom ourselves. Any other question?
Father, our respected father, vice principal, is there, sir.
Please, sir. Javis, sir. Not audible.
Father, your mic is not on. Please.
Sorry. I enjoyed your lectures very much. I want to appreciate you. You are sharing from your experience as so many years of crystallized pattern of operation from where just flowing out beautiful thoughts. I found very enriched and informative views and ideas. For me, what I think about it is when I look around, many of the appointments in higher positions is made on political note, ideology and political appointments, and that somehow disturbs those who are in the lower rung, aspiring to be in the higher positions. That is one thing. Secondly, in order to trickle down to the bottom line from the top, that participation, equivocal commitment is not coming because we are not brought up from the very beginning. Now we are beginning to reflect very much how we can develop our nation and bring about the best in each individual with a beautiful NEP, National Education Policy, and the different features incorporated into it. 5 hours of stay in the institution and 19 hours of stay away from the institution. What we hear, what we see, what we touch is quite different from the institution and what we experience in the institution. So how do we sink in and to move forward?
Look, I believe you are in a missionary institution.
Right, I am. Holy Cross College Vice Principal.
Look, I think you are a father also.
Yeah, priest.
Father, priest, look at it, father.
Yeah.
Though it is not, I don't know how far it is correct. I have been at 4 or 5 missionary institutions, colleges.
Yeah.
I was so much impressed that nobody could stop me, or in my opinion, that they are the best institutions. How it was possible? It was because of the leadership and policy and culture. And whenever it comes to, I don't want to, generalize it, but reality into large extent, that it is unquestionable leadership, unquestionable culture. They are also grooming people. So why we cannot do it in other institutions? Because as a student of management, मैंने भी कहीं देखा था, in Harvard Business Review में there was an article, missionary institutions, managing missionary institutions. Only thing is that people working in missionary institution, they understand the mission of the organization. Whenever everybody, starting from the lowest level to the top level, understand the mission of the organization, then there is empowerment, fully empowered organization will create. So you are not supposed to follow people every time.
Yeah.
Those people, you are not supposed to direct people. People are self-directed there. So हम लोग को national education policy वही चीज wants to emphasize that we should create that type of culture, that type of organization which requires leader. So as you correctly asked me, the requirement of the time is selection of the right leaders, and other issues should be avoided today if we want to fulfill the vision of National Education Policy 2040.
Thank you, sir.
Any other question? Thank you, Father. Good question. सुमिता
If
मेरे को
anyone want to,
पूछ नहीं रहे.
I think there is no question. Sir, can I take a few minutes, few seconds, sir? Our national anthem is announced, so there will be national anthem.
National
National anthem
अभी.
in our college, sir. So that's why it's few.
So okay. हाँ. Please start. हाँ. Thank you.
Actually, sir, our college hour is from 9 to 3:30. So now everyone is leaving. Before leaving, we sing national anthem. So that's why. Yes, every day.
Yeah, it's a very good culture. Very good culture. Thank you. So can I stop now?
Sir, vote of thanks. Few 1 minute. Sir. Give me a minute. Uh, I think there is no question. So, hello, am I audible? Okay. So,
Yeah.
on the behalf of Assam University, Silchar and Holy Cross College, Agartala, I extend our heartfelt gratitude to you for your valuable presence and for delivering such a thought-provoking and insightful session during this 1 hour, 1.5 hour period. So, your understanding in academic leadership and the academic governance and relating with your own experience, really it's make us quite easy to understand the content and academic governance and integrity, which you explained with the relation of NEP 2020. We truly inspired and motivated towards your towards the teaching, and the clarity, passions and experience you brought to today's discussion will certainly inspire and guide us in our academic journeys. So we sincerely thank you for your for sharing your time, knowledge and expertise with us. Thank you once again, sir. And it is it has been an honor to have you
Thank
the
you very
next
much. Thank you very
session,
much for
next
your patient hearing.
program, sir. Yes,
Thank you. Thank you. Good day. Good day.
thank you,
Thank
sir.
you,
Okay,
David
sir.
sir.
Okay,
Okay.
sir. Hello. I think our next resource person, respected Professor Satyapal Singh, is already there with us. Hello, sir. Are you there?
Hello. I am
Yes.
there, ma'am.
So, shall we start, sir?
Yes, you can.
Okay.
No
So,
problem.
good afternoon, sir.
Good
Welcome
afternoon.
you our second session, sir.
Okay, thank you.
Uh, So I would like to take a few moments to introduce our respected resource person for the second session, Professor Satyapal Singh. Sir, it is my honor and uh, privilege to introduce you, sir, as our Professor Satyapal Singh, an eminent scholar and educator in the field of Sanskrit, Indian philosophy, and linguistics. Professor Singh currently serves as the professor at the Department of Sanskrit, University of Delhi. With over 3 decades of distinguished academics and a teaching experience, he expertise spans Panini's grammar, Indian philosophy, numismatics, Nirukta, and Vedic studies, which making him a respected authority in traditional as well as modern approaches to Sanskrit. He has authored several acclaimed books, including detailed commentaries on the uh, Vyakarana Siddhanta Kaumadi and uh, other samhitas, and which are widely used in universities across India and abroad. His research contributions included over 20 peer-reviewed papers and numerous national and international conference presentations. Professor Singh has also served as a visiting fellow at the Mahatma Gandhi Institute, Mauritius, where he conducted workshop and lectures on Panini's grammar, linguistics, and Indian culture. Beyond his academic pursuits, he has actively contributed to curriculum development, administrative roles, and student monitoring at the University of Delhi. We are privileged to have such a distinguished scholar among with us today. Please, sir, uh, now you can start, sir. It's the platform is yours now.
Okay. Uh, Thank you, Smita ma'am. First of all, I would like to extend my thanks to the organizers, directors of this program, and yourself who is conducting this seminars, this portion. And it's a privilege for me to interact with the galaxy of scholars like you and others and participants. In fact, when I was asked to I was told to deliver a lecture in this workshop. I was very much enthusiastic to not deliver a lecture, to initiate an interaction rather. And it would be better to call it interaction from my side. Of course, it's a lecture in your side. So it should be an interactive session, and we will discuss because it's a subject where we all are involved. All are involved in academics, and how an academic integrity is required and it can be preserved and protected. So today we are going to discuss this issue of academic integrity. First of all, I would like to say a few words about academics and integrity. When we talk about academics, generally we think that a person who studies, who teaches, who guides, and who studies, who researches, these two communities, teacher and taught, basically are the two components of this academics. But it's not the case. It is a bigger community which is connected to the academics. Teachers, students, researchers, supervisors are very much essential part of that community. But in my mind, the publishers, librarians are also very much part of that arena where we call an academics. So integrity also required from those components which are connected distinctly or nearly to this system. Now, when we talk about the integrity, what do we mean by integrity? Basically, I think when we say the academic integrity is a good thing, but I think it should not be said like that, because integrity is not required. Integrity should be a part of our life. It should not be an acquired property, because if I am not honest towards my duty, it's not fair. If I am performing my duty, it's not anything extra. It's basically required part of our life that we should fulfill over there. If I'm a teacher, I should teach. If I'm not teaching, what am I doing? So it's not a thing that should be appreciated, not at all, because it's nothing extra we are giving or we are doing for the society. So in my mind, academic integrity means the duty of a person which he or she performs. So how do we perform that? If we perform it properly, then integrity is there. If we don't perform, it's a lack of integrity. So when I say integrity, integrity means the values, principles, ethics, duties we are supposed to perform. That is the part of the integrity. If we are not doing the things, then it's not appropriate from my side. So academic integrity refers to the commitment to honesty, trust, firmness, respect, and responsibility to the academic works. If I am a teacher, I am supposed to teach honestly. If I am a teacher, my student should trust me and I should also trust to my students. If I am a supervisor, I should give the students proper guidance or the researchers proper guidance. That is my duty. And they should respond to it. They should also perform their duties. So I should perform fairly. I should not conceal the facts. I should tell each and everything in detail and guide properly. I should respect the academic excellence, whosoever is the person. There may be some person who is not a good friend of mine. He may be the person that who does not like me. But some sound is coming. Anyway, but the respect should be there for a person who is academically sound and fair. So the responsibility and honesty, these are the key aspects of the integrity. See, one thing I would like to discuss here, that when I say that we should be honest to our duties, how can I be honest towards my duties? Punctuality is one part of that. If I'm taking a class of 1 hour, if I'm not going at well on time, then what I'm doing? If I became late by 10 minutes, so students, if there are 50 students, I am a person who has kept 500 minutes from those students. You can count of that. Each and every student has lost his or her 10 minutes, and 50 students means 500 minutes. So we should be punctual. Punctuality is one part of that. At the same time, students should also be punctual. If I'm not going there well on time and students are there, so what will be there? One thing will be there, that I will not be able to complete my syllabus properly. I will not be able to teach properly the whole text or the whole topic. So lack of time will be there. I will not be able to make a justice towards my topic or the subject. So a teacher should be very much punctual towards his or her duties. I think this is the utmost essential part on our side, because I'm talking about the teachers, because I am a teacher and you are also the teacher. So it should be there it should be a part of our life, that punctuality is an essential thing. Number 2, punctuality should also be from the student's side. Students should also be punctual. If they are not punctual, they will not be able to understand the topics. If they are coming late to the class, if some portion of the topic has been left, then what will going to happen over there? The continuity of the subject will not be there. The initial portion had been left, then the next portion, which is connected to the earlier one, will not be clear to the student. So the integrity also required from the student side, because their clarity of the subject, understanding of the subject, and the grasping of the subject depends on the continuity of the subject. And if some portion has been left, then continuity will be not proper there. There will be a gap, and with the gap, no one will be able to understand the whole topic properly. So the honesty towards our duty is very important. When I say the integrity means shuchita. In Hindi we call it जिसको हम कहें पवित्रता, सच्चाई, सत्यनिष्ठा. All these words are very much clearly define the integrity. So honesty towards our work is very much important. Number 2, the only punctuality is not the one aspect. It is the one aspect. It's not the whole integrity. The integrity also means because I'm a teacher, I will keep myself in the center of the theme. Because if I'm a teacher, if I have not prepared the lecture properly for my class, then what will be there? I will not be able to teach them properly. If there is any question, I will not be able to answer properly. I will not be able to respond their queries. So at this part, we also require the integrity of the teacher in the manner that when I enter the class, I must be fully prepared for the particular topic or the lecture or what I am going to deliver over there. So that preparation is very much essential for each and every teacher. That is also part of our integrity. So there are 2 things. One, punctuality, and second one is the preparation or the knowledge of the topic. Number 3, I would like to say that there are many subjects which require updated, even each and every subject requires the updated knowledge of the subject. If I am a scientist, I need what is going in the scientific development in the area of concerned person. If you are a physicist, how can we see the research papers, research journals, new developments are going on, and if we are not aware, how can we update my student? So to give best towards my part, I must be updated. I must be aware of the happening, whatever is happening around the world, not in front of me. So now the world is a very smaller area because of this connectivity. I am connected with the internet. I am connected with the journals. I am connected with the different libraries, online libraries. So the researches which are taking place, we should be aware of the researches of our field, so that we can make our students the best student. The best lecture should be given to them, best study should be there for them, and they should be well aware of the happenings in the context of their subject. So when we say that honesty is the best policy, I think in our Indian perspective, there is a shloka of Sanskrit, because I am from the Sanskrit, so I would like to quote a few verses or the shlokas from different scriptures. Integrity means the truth, fullness. See, in yoga philosophy, in the yoga version, there are two things. One is called yama and second is called niyama. Ahimsa, satya, asteya, brahmacharya, aparigraha. These are the 5 elements which are required for a person who is involved to perform the yoga. But it is equally essential for each and every member of the society, because all components of the academia are also very much essential component of the society. So all these are also required over there, not only for the saints or the persons who are performing yoga or the excelling in their field. See, if I am following truth, what will happen? If I am not following truth, then what will happen? The basic difference is truthfulness is always required, because if you are telling a lie, then to conceal that lie, you are supposed to memorize that fact that you have told this thing in that way to a person. If someone else comes there, then you will tell something else. Third person comes, you will not be able to recall that what have you said over there. If you have told one thing only to each and everybody, that is truth. So your memory, your mind will be able to recall only one thing, and it is not required to think over different things which have been presented by you falsely. So the false behavior and truth behavior is entirely different, and truth behavior gives us strength and gives our memory sharpness and clarity. Number 2, we will not be engaged in any act which is not truthful, because truth is always privileged. I am telling one thing, because one virtue is connected with the other. If you are truthful, you will be ahimsak. If you are ahimsak, you will be truthful. See, if I am telling something about some person or somebody, then if it is truth, then there is no problem. If it is false, then the false words or the false information will definitely hurt the person, because my purpose is to hurt the person by telling the lie about someone or some person or some subject or some topic. So truth is connected to ahimsa. If I am not truthful, I am going to give some pain to somebody. It may be mental, it may be physical. So integrity is an essential part of our life. It must be essential part of our life. As a teacher, as an academician, I would like to say that if a person is not truthful in its about its duty or his or her duty, then it will be a false behavior, and false behavior will lead a person towards the pain. The pain will be different kind of. It may be, see, if you are not truthful, you are not punctual, you are not honest towards your duty, then the respect in the mind of students will not be there. We will not be able to command the respect from the students. See, we desire the respect, but we don't deserve. Everyone desires respect, but who deserves the respect? That is the essential part of integrity which makes us deserving for the respect from the students. If I am a good teacher, if I am a knowledgeable person, I am not punctual, then what will happen? कहेंगे अरे टीचर तो बहुत अच्छा है, अरे यार टाइम आके पढ़ाता ही नहीं, he never comes on time, he rarely takes the classes. So being a good person, a knowledgeable person, a scholar, I will not be able to command the respect from my students or even from my colleagues. So if we desire to command respect, my students, my researchers, my colleagues, and the scholarly world give me respect, then I will have to be honest towards my duties. If I lack from my duty, then I will not be able to command the respect. So a teacher, which is most important part of the academic arena, should be punctual and should try to deliver the best towards their students and researchers. Now I come to the students. Like teachers, students are also very much essential part of the academic arena. When a student comes to the class, and I generally see this situation, the students are coming to the class by 10 minutes late, 20 minutes late, half an hour late. What will be their image in my mind? I'll say, अरे छोड़ो यार, टाइम पे तो आता नहीं है, इसको नहीं आएगा, पढ़े तो पढ़े, नहीं ना पढ़े. He wants to study, then he can study. If he doesn't want, I'm least bothered. So this will be the attitude, this will be the approach of the teacher towards a student who is not punctual. If someone is punctual, comes in time, then every teacher will say that is a good student. He comes always well on time. He attends each and every class. But sitting in the class, some of the students may be who are sitting in the class and not attentive towards the topic, towards the whatever is being delivered by the teacher or the professor. So the student should also be punctual, as well as they are supposed to be attentive in the class. This is also a part of integrity. If the student is not attentive in the class, then what will happen? Whatever is being taught over there, no one can make them understand the topics. See, concentration is the essential part of their duty. One more thing I would like to share with you. See, in this context, I would like to tell one thing. We say in the class that this is a good student, ये बुद्धिमान है, ये मूर्ख है, ये स्टूडेंट जो है बहुत प्राज्ञ है, ये तो एक्स्ट्रा ऑर्डिनरी है. What is difference between these students? Each and every student has intellect. There is no difference at all. But the difference is because of the concentration, because of the continuity, because of the devotion. These three elements are there. Each and every student has intellect, but if there is lack of concentration, the student will not be able to understand the topic or the subject properly. So an intelligent student is an intelligent student when he studies being concentrated and concentration is there, then the student can grasp the things. But this should be continuously. If someone comes, sits properly and studies properly, then one day and another day he bunks the class, then what will be there? That should be continuity. Always continuity is required. In the same way, devotion is also there. if the student is studying properly in the class and he is not revising the topics after later on at his home or in the hostel or the library, then the topic not be fixed or will not be in mind clearly grasped. Because it is very important that revision makes the topic clear. In Sanskrit it is said, Shastra Shastranubandhi. If we are learning the Shastras, we are supposed to read and read and read and read again. So, reading again and again the topic makes itself clear. It is one technique to make a subject or topic clear. So, though the students are required punctually come to the class. Number 2, they must be attentive in the class. Number 3, there should be devotion towards the study, that they can be able to do the justice with their studies. If they are not doing that, then there will not be a possibility of being a good student, or they will not produce a good result or required result. So the academic integrity is very much essential to the students who are learning, who are studying in the class. Now I would like to come in the third part, that is connected to the researcher and supervisor. There are various areas of research: literary research, clinical research, and different in different area, different type of research is there. So sorry, there was a call. Am I audible now?
Yes, sir, you are audible.
Okay. Sorry for the disturbance. So I was talking about the research. There is a very important thing. Then when we perform a research as a supervisor, as a researcher, both are required to be very much honest towards their research. Two types of honesty is required over there. From the side of teacher should guide a student properly. First of all, when a student or a researcher decides a topic, then which kind of topic is required, which kind of topic should be there. So when we prepare a topic for the research, then there should be a problem and the solution should be provided by the research. Problem oriented topic is very much essential. That is one. If we are going to choose a topic from the literature, then it is a literary research. There are also some problems. There may be problems related to the subjectivity, related to the concepts. There may be some problems towards the different. We have different ideas and concepts and thoughts. So integrity of those thoughts, how is it possible? For example, in the field of literature, we call the rasa is the atma of literature. Sometimes we call the riti, the construction of the literature is the atma of the a poem or a literature. Sometimes we call the vakrokti, a particular alankar, or the satire is the atma of the literature. How is it possible? How can be three atma of a single thing? So how can it be explained? How is it possible? See, in the philosophical research, when we go to the different scriptures, we find over there that this Srishti has been come out from the water. Sometimes it is told us that it has been product of the Prakriti. Sometimes we have been told that this whole universe is a Maya, is the illusion. It has come out of nothing. All these concepts are there. how is it possible for a person how is it possible for a person who is working in the field of philosophy and trying to find out the emergence of universe? Because we find out there that it is product of Prakriti. Sometimes it is told that it is a product of, it has been come out of water, it has been come out from fire. Sometimes it is told that it is illusion, nothing is there, it is a creation of Maya. Then sometimes it is told that it has come out of Shunya. So different aspects are discussed over there. How is it possible? So we are supposed to choose a topic, a problem is there, and we should try to find out the solution to those problems. So the topic is chosen. Sometimes what happens? Here we lack the integrity because sometimes it happens in front of a site, because I am involved in the research, literary research, basically literary and philosophical and grammatical research. I am over there supervising a number of students. Sometimes it happens that a topic is there, but what happens in English, the work has been done, the student or teacher translates the topic and presents as a new one. What is that? Vyakaran mein praman mimansa. That is a topic that has been done. Someone comes to me. Paniniya vyakaran mein praman vichar. What is new over there? Only the nomenclature has been changed. The theme will be the same. The problem is the same. The solution will also the same. That has always been done in the past. So this is the plagiarism and this is the lack of integrity. So the plagiarism when we are choosing the topics, plagiarism when we are writing the thesis, plagiarism when we are preparing the lectures even without quoting the person who has initially given those thoughts. And sorry, some calls are coming, so it is a minor disturbance over there. So I was talking about the topics. When we choose a topic for the research, it should not be repetitive, it should not be copied, it should not be a translation at all, it should be a new one. If we are doing the research on the same topic, but dimension should be entirely different. If I am working on the philosophical text of Shankar, then someone has worked on Maya, then Maya should not be my topic. If I want to work on that, then my topic must be different, entirely different even, not partially, from the one which has been done already. So if I am going to do the same thing, then it will not be an integrity at all. It will be a cheating. So the like to, because I am from the Sanskrit field, so some examples may be from Sanskrit. It may be little bit difficult for you. There is a tradition of Shankaras. Like Shankaracharya is a designation. Initially it was given to the Adi Shankaracharya. Then it has been conferred to a number of scholars. There was a Shankaracharya, tradition of Shankaracharya in 14th century. Name was Vidyaranya. Shankar says that Maya is an element that cannot be defined, but that is known, neither it is existent, it is non-existent. So it is not definable. This is the position about Maya of the Shankara. But the Vidyaranya says, being the follower of Shankara, that Maya remains in the 10th portion of the Brahman. If Brahman is Satya, then the 10th portion of Brahman as a Maya will also be Satya. That is definable. So, how it is possible for a person who is follower of Shankara and talking about the existence of Maya? So, that may be a topic where Maya can be discussed again, but the dimension and the aspects will be different entirely. So, when we are choosing the topics, we are selecting the topics, we are suggesting the topics, we have to keep on our mind that should not be repetitive, that should not be plagiarized from somewhere else, that should not be even translated one, because the translation may be little bit different, but the essence of the thesis will be the same. So this is also required from the side of supervisor, because the student is not aware of the facts that much as a teacher always knows and is aware, or a supervisor or a professor is aware. So this part of integrity is also required in the arena for a proper fruitful research. Number two, when we supervise the student, we guide them. If it is a clinical research, what should be done over there? If it is a literary research, what should be done over there? If it is a research in the social area, then what should be done? See, in the clinical research, we go for the lab, we go for the experiment. Those experiments may already been done by someone else. What happens sometimes, I would like to quote one of my friend from the science. वो कहता है कि आजकल रिसर्च क्या है? What is research today? That research है कि हमने मूली पर रिसर्च किया, हमने गाजर पर रिसर्च किया. What is that? कि गाजर कैसा है? लाल गाजर पर रिसर्च किया, काली गाजर पर रिसर्च किया, पीली गाजर पर रिसर्च किया. What will be the difference over there? Difference is the color. But with the minor permutation and combination, we will put some data and research will be completed. That should not be there. That is the cheating. क्योंकि उसने एक काम किया, आपने क्या किया? आपने तो उसका डेटा चुरा लिया. If we are taking data from someone else and we are manipulating over there, then it is not fair. It is not fair work, fair research. It is the cheating. And cheating or plagiarism is not required at all, because plagiarism is a offense and punishable offense. मुझे एक छोटी सी बात ध्यान आ गई, मैं अभी न्यूज़पेपर में पढ़ रहा था. वी हैव जस्ट सेलिब्रेटेड द टीचर्स डे. आई थिंक we all of us have celebrated that one. It comes on the birthday of Sarvapalli Radhakrishnan Sahab, who was a president. Do you know something about Radhakrishnan ji? There was a scholar junior to Radhakrishnan ji. When he was a researcher, Radhakrishnan was a professor. His name was Jadunath Sinha, who wrote his thesis. The thesis came for the evaluation to the Radhakrishnan Sahab, and it was kept almost for more than 1 year with him. And he took some portions from that thesis and published in his book by his own name. It was plagiarism. The case was over there. It was published in various newspapers, and they went to the court. A settlement out of the court made by the S. Radhakrishnan Sahab. But please, the person who are stalwarts in the field, जो हमारे लिए आदर्श है, तो when those persons do that kind of act, how can we expect an integrity from a general teacher? So the person who are ideal for the society, they should be ideal in a proper manner. They should, because the person who is ideal for the society, they will follow. If I am ideal for my family will follow me. If I am ideal for my student will follow me, because the learner always do whatever he watches. जो कुछ वो देखता है वही करता है, तो मेरे स्टूडेंट मेरा अनुकरण करेंगे, they will follow me. See, there is a text I have read on, that the name is Taittiriya Upanishad. I think all have heard about the Upanishads. Some of you may have studied. There is a chapter Shiksha Valli, where the Rishi says, at the time of Samavartan means convocation, when the education of pupil or student has been completed, then he, before leaving that institution of Gurukula, a ceremony is performed over there. Then Acharya gives him sermon, उसको उपदेश देता है. He says, यान्य अस्माकं सुचरितानि तानि त्वयोपास्यानि नोइत्राणि. See, I am a person like you. There are so many qualities and disqualities. There may be some good virtues in my life. There may be some wrong things in my practice and behavior. But you are supposed to follow the good things only. Why he says like that? Because no one is perfect. There may be some part of my life that are not appropriate. So one should not follow. So we are also supposed to tell our students, our followers or the researchers, that whatever I am doing, if it is appropriate, you should follow it. If it is not appropriate, I may be wrong, then you are not supposed to follow the wrong things. So it is very much essential for a teacher and the student that at the time of research, we should not plagiarize at all. Plagiarism may be verbatim, that we pick the topics, or we pick a chapter from another book or the other text or the other research work and put it in my own thesis, in my name, then it is a plagiarism and it is punishable. There are various type of instruments which can detect this kind of acts. So we should not do that, and it hampers the prosperity of the state and the Rashtra, or the unnati of the Rashtra is not be at all if we are not committed towards our research. As real research is not performed over there, then it will not be a good thing for me, for my society and my nation as well, or even for the world. So integrity is always required. At the part of when second type of lack of integrity in the field of research is that what we do, we generally change the word and put the stanza in the same way. The essence is the same and words has been changed. Like that, ये मेरे पिताजी हैं. This is a simple sentence. He is my father. But in the vice versa, I can say I am his son. What is different here? The words have been changed only. So the plagiarism is not only the verbatim, picking the words or the stanzas or the chapters and put somewhere else and use somewhere else. That is not the only. The is also that where we took a paragraph, changed the words and keep the essence same. So it should also not be there, because it's not your work, it is work of the person who has done earlier. So this must be over there, that it should be taught and it should be advised to the researchers that avoid the plagiarism at all, because it is a punishable. I am telling you one happening that like Sarvapalli Radhakrishnan Sahab, what happened there later on, I don't know. That we find only the thing that out of court settlement was there, and some thousands of rupees were given to the Jadunath Sinha for that plagiarism. Anyway, in my university, I am telling you, many a time when we go for the promotion, we submit our papers, it is always scrutinized by the different kind of tools. Like there is a software, Trinity and other one. We put it over there, we find plagiarism more than 10%, 50%, 80%, 70%, 60%. Then what is a call or they are from the university, they call us, they tell us that this is not appropriate and it is rejected. And promotion always been stopped of my colleagues because of this plagiarism. So it is never required, it is required only, that is required is honesty. Chori nahi chahiye. Theft, this is also theft. See, our character was so high. There is a story in Chandogya Upanishad. At that time, there was a king named was Ashwapati. What happens? Some sages or some saint or some rishi came there in their darbar, and the king was very much enthusiastic to serve them food and water and all these things. उनका बड़ा सम्मान करना चाह रहे थे. Then what happened? They refused to accept their honor, to accept their water, accept their food. Then Ashwapati says, Bhagwan, आप इसको मना क्यों करें? Why are you refusing to accept this? And he declares, Name steno janpade, मेरे जनपद में, मेरे राज्य में, in my country, in my state, there is no thief. Name steno, steno means चोर, thief. There is मेरे जनपद में कोई चोर नहीं है. न मेरे जनपद steno, न कदरियो न मद्यप. There is no person who is violating the social norms. No madhyapa. There is no drinker. Nobody drinks in my state. No swairini puta. No one is vyabhichari. So vyabhicharini ki baat hi nahi hai. So this kind of integrity was in our country when it is a katha of Satyuga. When in Satyuga we were that kind of person. Integrity was where a king can declare about his subject. That was the situation. But we can't say now this kind of situation is possible these days, because everyone is running for the money, going to fulfill their desire. Not only desire but greed. Desires can be fulfilled, definitely, but greed cannot be. Bhogana bhukta vayameva bhukta. If we are going to, if we are running behind the money, then our greed cannot be satisfied at all. So the integrity also required from the side of researcher and the supervisor. Third thing, when I was talking about the teacher who are involved in preparing the syllabi, what happens over there? See, we are just going through the NEP. All of us are involved in some way. We are connected with the NEP. Either we are connected with the teaching, or we are going to prepare some text for that matter, or we are going to prepare some syllabus in our own universities. So where we find something is not required. What happens if I have written a book? What will be my insistence that please keep this book, I have written this one. Whether it is good or not, I am not going to think about it. If it is not worth, if it is not going to give to the students or the study something specifically good, then how can I keep it? But I insist to keep it because this is my book. So it is also a kind of disintegrity. Integrity should be there, that only the best books should be referred, best books should be taught, best books or text should be prescribed for that matter. So this kind of thing should not be there. On the part of librarian, when we buy some book, basically librarian is not responsible for it. Sometimes librarians may be responsible, but we the teachers are responsible for it. When we recommend to buy some books, what is happening in front of me in basically these days? If I have written some book, my friend has written some book, or some book which is not worth at all, even then I say, यार मेरे मित्र ने लिखे, ले लो यार इसकी 4 कॉपी तो ले लो. What will happen? The funds will be exhausted over there. Then we will not be able to buy good books which are very good for the students and essential for the students. So this is also the disintegrity with the system. We are going to ruin the students and the libraries. We will find thousands of books in our library which are not good at all. So the literature which we are choosing may be connected with or may be related to any topic, any subject, maybe science, commerce, English, Hindi, or any language, or any medical, any kind of the subject may be there. But texts which are best one should be bought in the library and kept over there. So when we choose the text for our libraries, we should be very much honest about that the best book should come in our library and would be provided by the librarians to our students. So this is one more aspect that should keep in our mind, because if we don't have the good text, good literature, then how can we expect a good research? Basically, these are the basis of the research. Material will be collected from those texts, those scriptures. In my field, basically we call it shastras or scriptures, from those scriptures. So the best books, best scriptures, best commentaries should be provided to the student through the libraries. So this is also one essential part that should be over there. What will happen to if we don't perform our duty, we are not truthful, what happens then? First of all, we will not be able to get a respect from my student, we will not be able to get a respect from my colleagues, we will not be able to get a respect from the society. So this part will be there. In my life, it will be very painful if I am disrespected by my students or the society. So it is not required to anybody. Everybody desires and deserves and should deserve for the respect. So if you want, and myself, I want to be respected, I must be honest towards my duties and should not be at all dishonest towards my duties. Number 2, academics. And on the part of student, if he or she wants to be successful in his or her life, he wants to get a better result or even best result, then he will have to be honest towards his duties. The part of that is punctuality, the concentrated concentration, continuity, and regularly attending the class and prepare the lectures properly later on, then he or she can be able to get good marks or will be able to find a good outcome. So the honesty is the one thing that is very much over there. One more thing I would like to talk about, the plagiarism. See, in the class, when student is writing the answer, what is happening? One more thing that skipped my mind. It is coming now. See, one aspect is over there of the cheating or plagiarism. What can we say? See, in the competitive exams, in earlier days, I think it's some 20 years ago, when I was in a college, I was just invigilating the students. What was happening? One student gave his second copy to someone else, and he was copying. I caught it. This is the plagiarism. This is the cheat. Should not happen. Once upon a time, a female student was there, and she was impersonating someone else. किसी और की जगह पर और एग्जाम दे. That is also lack of integrity. Sometimes it happens that now it is happening. Some competitive exams, what happens if because it is always online. Generally, competitive exams are being taken online. Then what happens? Where the center is there, some person in the center पैसा लेंगे और वो उसको वहां पर चीटिंग करा देंगे. ये एक प्रकार है. दिस इज वन टाइप ऑफ चीटिंग. They will take some money as a bribe and they will tell these are the answer of these questions. Number two, hacking also there. Far from that area, someone has hacked that system and filling the correct answers from somewhere else. This is happening. Or for this hacking, there is a fixed amount, 7 lakhs, 8 lakhs, 10 lakhs, depends on the nature of the examination. So this kind of disintegrity is also in the society. That is not required at all. We are supposed to check it because we are teachers. If we are involved in this, see, when somebody is performing or someone is taking the examination online, who will assist him? Only the expert from the field will provide the correct answers for some money. A few thousands or few lakhs are the cost of my integrity. I am providing answers. If I am providing answers, then what will happen? It is a punishable offense, and it should be punished, and it should be checked. So this should not happen. This kind of happenings are not in the society. That should be stopped at all, and it can be stopped by various means, by making laws, by enforcing the existing laws, by sanitizing the system properly, and the persons who are involving in this should be punished severely. Severe punishment should be for those fellows who are involved in this kind of act, because they are promoting the persons who are not eligible, and the eligible persons are barred from their legitimate rights. So we are supposed to be very much honest in this field also, because one more thing is happening. Sometimes it comes in the newspapers that paper has been leaked. It is common phenomena, normal. It is normal thing. It has been normal thing in the past, and it is happening just these days also. So what happens? At various levels, we have to check these things. Some time ago, what happened in my university, in University of Delhi, I am telling you, there was a test conducted by the NTA for the non-teaching staff. Some non-teaching posts were to be filled, and a test was conducted. What happened? Some of the students got above 90% marks, and those were from the same center. From one center, each and every student got more than 90% marks. Then it was brought in the knowledge of the authority. Then authority did one thing. They conducted one more thing. They conducted an interview. When those students who were above 90% were examined and questioned and interviewed, they were not able to speak at all. This kind of things are happening over there. Then the entire examination was cancelled. some of the students went to the court, and we are fighting the case against those students or against this cancellation, whatever it is. It can be said or can be told or can be named, but it is happening. We are facing this kind of problem. This is happening in the various universities. One more thing, I have been part of a number of selection committees and promotion committees. When I go to the university somewhere, phone comes to me. अरे भाई जा रहे हो? अरे यार तुम जा रहे हो ना वहाँ, देख लेना यार, मेरा एक बच्चा है. कौन है जी? यार मेरा भांजा है, मेरा बेटा है, इसको कर देना. अच्छा भाई देखेंगे, यदि ठीक हुआ तो कोशिश करेंगे. But I never do that. I always try to, believe me, I always try to give a chance to the best one. But what happens? I'm not always successful over there. If there are 5 posts, then I say at least 2 students, 2 candidates who are the best one should be given the post. 3 है, आप देख लीजिए जिसको जो करना है, ठीक ठाक सा रखिएगा, गंद मत रखिएगा. 2 घोड़े 3 गधों को साथ में खींच ले जाएंगे. ये हमें करना पड़ता है. It happens over there because some pressure from the political arena, some pressure from the society, some pressure from my relatives, some pressure from my colleagues always comes to me. But the thing, this is not the integrity of the society, neither it is the integrity of the system. The integrity asks the thing that whatever is fair, whatever is truth, whatever is appropriate should happen, should take place. So when we make some injustice, we make some favor, we indulge in the nepotism, then integrity is not there and it is never accepted. It should not be accepted at all. So we are supposed to that integrity should be there. To these, how can we promote these academic different various type of integrity or the various aspect of integrity? Number 1, inculcating the values in our students through our behavior. See, if I am truthful, if I am honest, if I am punctual, my students will also be. Maybe that kind of students that they don't follow me, but definitely some of the students will be there who will follow me and who will be truthful towards their duties and act. Some of students will be very much punctual by watching my behavior and my integrity. So it is very much essential. A teacher should be a teacher. I should not say we are the teacher. Definitely we are the teacher, not the cheater. We should not cheat our students. We should not cheat their time. We should not cheat their whatever they deserve from our side. Number 2, to promote the academic integrity, we should also try to inculcate the values that in the arena of research, where at the time of examination, at the time of writing, when we are writing some article or we are publishing some research articles, we are writing the book, we should avoid, we should refrain from the plagiarism at all. Any kind of plagiarism, maybe verbatim or picking the concept from there and putting it in our own words. It is not required, it is not advisable, it is always required that we should do our own work from that should be product of my labor, my intellect, my efforts. So it is very important. Number 3, we have developed and we should try to force the system that is very much foolproof, and we should not provide the space or scope to plagiarize the things through detection by tools and the other ways. Some more aspects are there that if we generally think of this integrity, if we are not honest, we are dishonest towards our duties, then what will be there? Loss of credibility, credibility in the society, credibility in my own eyes, that is also there. हमारे यहाँ एक कहावत है, आदमी जब पहाड़ से गिरता है तो उठ सकता है, किसी की नजरों से गिर गया तो नहीं उठ सकता. It is not possible for a person who can stand up if someone falls in the eyes of someone. So we should try to be credible. So this disintegrity makes us incredible in the eyes of society, or in the eyes of the system, or eyes of my students. This disintegrity damages my reputation. It is basically a cause of failure, and it is also a cause of penalize. If I am a person who is not honest in the writings, if I plagiarize, I may be liable for the punishment. So this kind of things should be avoided, and we should inculcate, or we should force. Both the aspects are essential. Sometimes it is forcefully, it should be forcefully, and sometimes at some levels it should be done by inculcating the values through our behavior, through our teachings, through our literature, so that my next generation may be able to have this integrity in their behavior, in their day-to-day life, in their each and every sphere of life. That is very important. I think it is time for discussion. If there are some questions and some points of discussion, I am ready over there. So mic is in the hand of the comparer. Smita ji. Hello, am I audible, Smita ji?
Yes, sir, you are audible.
So I think I conclude it here, and now the question answer session or the discussion may be open.
Hello.
Hello.
From the participant sides, if you have any question, any doubt, any query, sir is there with us. You can ask question.
No question.
Sir,
Smita ma'am, I generally say in my class, because I always teach in Hindi medium or in English medium, little bit in Sanskrit also. कि भाई देखो, समझ में आ गया सब कुछ तो आप कुछ नहीं पूछोगे, और यदि कुछ समझ में नहीं आया तो कुछ नहीं पूछोगे. तो लगता है कि कुछ समझ में नहीं आया है इसलिए पूछ नहीं रहे.
नहीं sir,
if there is a discussion is always there where we try to understand something, and some questions come in our mind from that discussion. So it is open for the discussion. We share it.
Actually, sir, you related the values which already mentioned in our ancient scriptures, like ahimsa.
Upanishads.
Yes, sir. So then integrity and leadership, integrity and research, ethics, values. So these are, sir, nowadays are very relevant. But how we can inculcate these values, for research, and because nowadays you also discussed about the plagiarism and all. So for the coursework we learn the research ethics and all those who are completed PhD. But
Yes.
yes, sir.
You are talking something else, please. कुछ और भी कह रहे थे?
हाँ
It's
सर,
over, no?
मैं कह रही थी कि कैसे वैल्यू को इनकलकेट करें कि खाली
हम्म,
पीएचडी कोर्स और में एक पेपर पढ़ के नहीं, वो तो शुरू से होना चाहिए कि हमको किसी
जी।
से कॉपी नहीं करना चाहिए। वो जो बिगिनिंग ऑफ आवर education, we should inculcate this value, or you can incorporate in our curriculum, or not only theoretical way, we can practice day by day. Like, so how do we implement
Uh,
this? How can we implement?
See, it's very, uh, what can I say, that very much paining that when I see in the schools that teachers are not coming in the class, students are running from this place to that place, and that is why the government schools are running out of students now. Only the public schools are flourishing. Why it is so? Why is it so? When I was student, there was no public school in my area even. So teachers were very much punctual. They were supposed to be in the class. They generally came to the class and taught us properly. That was the situation. Nowadays, it is not happening there. At the initial level, what happens? The teachers are not coming to the class. I'm talking about the government schools, not the public schools. पब्लिक स्कूल में डंडा है, मालिक का डंडा है, उसको पैसा कमाना है, तो वो डंडे से काम कराता है। ये डंडा हमारे यहां क्यों नहीं है? Why we are not using this punishing system? If teacher is late by 3 minutes in public school and in 1 month, thrice in a month, then their 1 CL or EL will be deducted. It is not happening in government schools. 1 घंटा लेट आता है, 2 घंटा लेट आता है, 1 घंटा पहले चला जाता है, और बच्चे घूमते रहते हैं, कोई पढ़ाई का ध्यान नहीं देता। What we are inculcating them in them? What are we doing for them? हम उनको ये बता रहे हैं कि भैया ऐसे ही आना होता है, ऐसे ही अपनी फरलो मारनी होती। आप एक क्लर्क के पास जाइए, मैं यूनिवर्सिटी सिस्टम की बात करता हूं, आई एम सॉरी टू से, when I'm talking about university system, when you go to in the office, administrative block, what happens over there? They don't ask for sitting. You are standing in front of a clerk. Why is it so? You are not inculcating the values. Someone senior person, some professor, some teacher, or even unknown person comes to you, is the minimum courtesy. Please sit down. Be seated. Then, what is your query? Why are you here? How can I help you? These are the basic things are not being taught over there. हमें तो हमारा जो हक है वही नहीं मिल रहा है, हम इन कर्तव्य की बातें क्या करेंगे? जब हमारे जीवन में, व्यवहार में ये चीज नहीं है तो हम दूसरे से एक्सपेक्ट कैसे करेंगे? एक जो क्लर्क बैठ करके या एक टीचर अपनी कक्षा को नहीं लेता, फिर वो आशा करता है कि उसके बच्चे को स्कूल में टीचर अच्छे से पढ़ाएगा। If I am not teaching, if I am not supervising, how can you supervise my child? Who is your pupil? Who is your student? मैं संस्कृत का व्यक्ति हूं, मेरे बेटे ने जर्मन लैंग्वेज की, सपोज मेरा बेटा स्पेनिश पढ़ रहा है, व्हाट हैपेंस ओवर देयर? यदि मैं अपने बच्चों के लिए ये आशा करता हूं कि उनका टीचर स्कूल में टाइम से आए और पढ़ाए, द टीचर शुड बी पंक्चुअल इन द क्लास वेयर माय सन इज स्टडिंग, देन व्हाट शुड बी फ्रॉम माय साइड? If someone is studying, he is also the son of someone. He is a child of someone who is giving his money, he is investing his time, even not investing, he is wasting his time because of me, because I am not there. What am I inculcating in them? जो हम उसमें दे रहे हैं वो हमारा बिहेवियर है। मैं इसका एक छोटा सा उदाहरण बताता हूं, बहुत छोटी घटना है। अब बच्चा कैसे सीखता है ये बताता हूं। मेरी मदर है, इस समय 93 ईयर्स ओल्ड है, कोई 10 साल पहले की बात है। मैं गांव में नहीं रहता हूं, दिल्ली में रहता हूं, मेरी माँ गांव में रहती, तो एक बार गांव में आई, उनको बीड़ी पीने की आदत थी, तो हमने माँ को कहा, माँ थोड़ा बीड़ी ना अलग बालकनी में जाके पीना, बच्चों से अलग होकर के। तो वो बच्चों से थोड़ा पर्दा रख करके बीड़ी पीती थी। तो बच्चे हैं, मेरा बेटा था छोटा, करीब 3-4 साल का। वो एक दिन मैंने देखा कि उसने एक सीख उठाई हुई है, सीख जानते हैं, जो झाड़ू की सीख होती तीली, उसको निकाला, तोड़ा और ऐसे मुंह में कर रहा है। मैंने देखा ये क्या कर रहा है, मैं कहा बेटा क्या कर रहे हो? बीड़ी पी रहा हूं। बीड़ी क्यों पी रहा हूं? दादी पी रही थी ना, वैसे ही मैं भी पी रहा हूं। दिस इज हैपनिंग। आपने उस बच्चे को कुछ नहीं सिखाया। आई हैव नॉट टॉट एनीथिंग, आई हैव नॉट आस्क्ड टू replicate the action of my mother, but he is doing that because he is watching whatever he watches in front of him, in the house, in the society, in the institution, in the education system, everything goes in the mind, और जो अंदर गया वही बाहर आएगा. If we are having good thoughts in our mind, then we will be able to produce the good thoughts. If we are full of evil, full of bad things, bad thoughts, then what will come out? Nothing. If I have coins in my pocket, I will be able to bring out only coins, not the notes. Everything is there. But what are we going to contribute to the society that will be again towards me? जो देंगे वही मिलेगा. मैं आई जनरली व्हाट आई डू, आते आते बच्चे सुबह सुबह जब जाते हैं तो वो छोटे छोटे बच्चे नर्सरी केजी के, वो कार में बैठ करके, गाड़ियों में बैठ करके जाते हैं. अचानक नजर मिलती है तो उनको बाय कर दो तो सब बच्चे बाय बाय करने लग जाते हैं, और उनको जीप चिढ़ा दो, ऐसे कर दो तो वो भी ऐसे ही करते हैं. व्हाट इज इट? जो आप दे रहे हैं वो वापस मिलता है. आप किसी अनजान आदमी से कहिए गुड मॉर्निंग सर, गुड मॉर्निंग कह के जाएगा, और आप ऐसे एक बार देख दीजिए थोड़ा टेढ़ा, वो 4 बार ऐसे देखेगा और कहेगा क्यों, क्या बात है भाई? सो हमें वही मिलेगा जो हम सोसाइटी को दे रहे हैं. तो ये चीज हम अपने से शुरू करते हैं. मैं से द सबसे छोटी इकाई, द टाइनेस्ट यूनिट ऑफ द सोसाइटी इज अ मैन, a person. If a person is fine, the society will be fine. If person is not okay, if it is full of evils, if it is full of bad habits, bad acts, then society will be of the same kind, because we are the total sum of the persons. Society, what is the society? So I am the society. I am very much part of the society. You are very much part of the society. All the participants are very much part of the society. Then, if we are not good persons, society will not be good. If we are good persons, society will never be bad. It will be definitely, it will be good. If the component is good, the whole will be good. If component is rotten, if it is not good, it is not appropriate, it is not desirable, then society will be the same kind. So I think it should be practiced from the home. When I say from the home, Mata Nirmata Bhavati, mother is the creator. See, there are two things, there are two aspects. When I say the integrity, see, आप तो गृहिणी हैं स्मिता जी, आपने तो गाजर का हलवा बनाया होगा, है? मैं कभी कभी मैं बनाता हूं, मुझे खाना बनाने का भी थोड़ा शौक है. What happens? किसान मुझे रॉ मटेरियल प्रोवाइड कराता है. गाजर कौन देता है? किसान. मैं क्या करता हूं? उसको छीलता हूं, धोता हूं, कट करता हूं, और उसको उससे जो भी बनाना होता है बनाता हूं. ठीक है? किसान मुझे लकड़ी देता है. एक कारपेंटर क्या करता है? उसको लाता है, तराशता है और डिफरेंट डिफरेंट शेप्स के टेबल, चेयर और दूसरी चीजें बना देता है. हाउ इज इट सो? दे आर टू पर्संस. एक है सोसाइटी में माता पिता जो बच्चे को प्रोड्यूस करते हैं. देन वी आर द क्रिएटर्स. It is my duty, first of all, what kind of base material they are providing us. If they are not providing good material, we will not be able to produce the good thing. Although if they are providing good material and we are not appropriate person to deal with that material, to use that material in appropriate way, we don't have ability to create something, then we will not be able to create a good human being for the society. So we are the creators and they are the producers. So this is the total sum of two persons, producer and creators. We are the creator of the society. They are the producers. So the mother Mother means not only mother, father, and family, and the local society is one aspect who inculcates the, whether it is bad thing or good thing, I don't say. Whatever is in the society, they are inculcating knowingly or unknowingly to the next generation. They come to us. How will you define that? यदि मेरे पास बेस मटेरियल लोहे का है तो आप इसको सोने का नहीं बना सकते. आप इतना कर सकते हो, उसको घिस करके, उसको खराद करके, उसको पेंट करके, पॉलिश करके, चिकना करके, उसको फाइन ट्यून तो कर सकते हो. You can't change the base material. Requirement is there. Base material is required. But if you have very good material, but we are not capable of refining those or making fine tuning it, then what will happen? Even then, we will not be able to produce the best. So both the components of the society itself and the teaching community, academia, are also supposed to perform with the integrity. So I think this should be the answer to your query.
Sir. Yes, sir, I understood. I think और क्वेश्चन नहीं है. So on the behalf of the organizers, both the institution Assam University Silchar and Holy Cross College Agartala, I extend my heartfelt thanks to respected Professor Satyapal Singh for his enlightening and informative lecture on academic integrity. Your deep understanding of Indian philosophy, traditions, and values, combined with contemporary academic values, added great depth to today's session. You have reminded us with academic integrity is not just a policy, but a practice rooted in personal ethics, intellectual honesty, and cultural responsibility. Your examples from Sanskrit texts and Indian knowledge system beautifully reinforce how timeless the values of truth, discipline, and scholarship truly are. We are grateful for the clarity and scholarship conviction with which you delivered your thoughts. I'm sure the session has left us all better informed and deeply inspired to uphold the highest standards in our own academic pursuits. Thank you, sir, once again. Thank you for being with us.
Thank you. I would like to extend my thanks to the Silchar and your college and the organizers again. Thank you, madam. Thank you, and yourself. Thank you. May I leave now?
Okay, sure, sir. So, dear participants, tomorrow there is a slight change in our timetable. So, tomorrow we will have session from 3:30 to 6:30. So with that, we are ending our today's session. Good night, everyone.
Good night, madam.